It makes the bridge very fragile. We just did it once, and everything looks great. Hi everyone, welcome back to XGate Dental. I'm Emmanuel Kadosh, and we are here to discuss new procedures in the field of dentistry. We will provide interesting new cases to exhibit how doctors use our products to solve complicated dental cases, so don't forget to subscribe and follow us to stay up to date. Let's get started. Today we brought a case that took a very long time from start till the end, around a year and possibly 2 years. We started with a broken bridge and we ended with the bridge on implants. But what we want to show you today is the process of the planning and the temporary bridges that we made along the way. And this is the interesting part of this case because it's a small bridge on 3 implants, nothing special, but the planning and everything we did is very interesting. We took our time while also giving proper healing time between each session. You'll see the changes mostly in the soft tissues that we managed to get a great result. The patient came with chipping in the crown, and as you can see on the left side, she wanted to fix this, maybe a composite or something, and we made a scan of an x-ray and we saw that it's not the only problem. The teeth underneath this bridge are with caries. We can't leave it like this because it won't hold much longer. She came with a small complaint and she went home with a new bridge. So we took off the bridge and we saw the problematic teeth. We chose 3 teeth to extract and we made a new temporary bridge. With this bridge, she went home. We left those teeth just for the bridge. In the end, we extracted all of the teeth, but we wanted something for the bridge to hold on to. So that's why we left some and extracted the other. So in the places of the extracted teeth, we placed implants for the permanent bridge. You can see the temporary bridge without large separation because we don't want the bridge to break down. We don't want to have large separation. It makes the bridge very fragile. In this step, 3 implants were placed in the places of the extracted teeth. Because the implants were placed in the place of the extracted teeth, the axis of the implant is like the axis of the tooth. So without guided surgery, we know that the screw channel of the bridge will go in the occlusion part and not the buccal part. If we waited some time, there was a little bit of buccal resorption of the bone, we'll have a problem because we'll need to place the implant in buccal inclination and then we'll have a buccal screw channel. We didn't need a surgical guide. In this case, you don't need a surgical guide because you extracted the tooth. You know the axis of the implant because you need to place the implant in the axis of the tooth, and you have enough space between 2 teeth. So there are no problems in the positioning of the implants. A surgical guide just complicates the procedure and doesn't have an added value. When we're extracting teeth and we're waiting for the healing process, we don't want the bridge to press on the gingiva. It will have a negative effect. So in this case, we leave a little bit of space between the teeth and the gingiva, and she'll be able to clean between the bridge and the gingiva by herself in the healing process. So now she will be going home with a temporary bridge for the next 4 or 5 months. She needs to clean it up. You can see as she came back with a healed gingiva, she didn't clean up the bridge very well because you can see some plaque around the bridge. This is the healed gingiva after 4 months. She came back, and in this case, we can take off the bridge and you can see the implants. You can see here the healing caps and you can see the implants themselves. So we took out the healing caps and we placed multi-units. We used 1 4mm multi-unit and 2 2mm multi-units. Because the gingiva healed and changed, we ended up needing to change the multi-units, but in all of this process, she still has her temporary bridge that she went home with originally. She will leave the clinic with some sort of temporary bridge. Right now, for example, she comes to the clinic and we take out the healing caps. We insert multi-units and we need to take impressions, right? So we take impressions and we make a new temporary bridge on those multi-units, but making a new bridge takes time. We give her the temporary bridge that she came in with. In the meantime, we're making the new bridge. Next time when she comes, we'll extract the remaining teeth and connect a new temporary bridge, and we'll wait again for the healing. After another 4 months, we want to take impressions and then we need to give her back the bridge because it takes time to make a new bridge. So we don't want to take out those multi-units, insert new ones, take impressions, return the old ones, and then return the bridge. We can make it so much simpler. We can take impressions on those multi-units, the existing ones. That way we just return the bridge, and that's all. We take impressions within the bridge, but on the existing multi-units, you can see you have all the occlusion part of the multi-unit. It's not inside the gingiva. You would want smaller multi-units. We do all of this digitally while the patient is at home. What we do is take impressions on these multi-units and scan abutments. The technician later in his lab can change those multi-units to whatever he wants, and he later tells the doctor what multi-units we should use. Then the patient came back to us. We got out those multi-units, changed the new ones, and we already had a manufactured bridge on the new multi-units. So instead of taking out the multi-units multiple times, we just did it once. The technician can simply do it digitally. You can see in this photo right here that this is what we ended up with. We got a new bridge, we replaced the multi-units, and then this is what we were left with. This was 2 millimeters, we changed it to 1. This one was 4 millimeters, we changed it to 2 and just inserted the bridge. This is the only time we changed multi-units, inserted the bridge, and then closed the screw channels. Now, in this case, you can see in the temporary bridge that we have all of the gingiva. We have everything that we need. Instead of just changing the bridge, we also added 1 crown for aesthetics. She had the tooth with the amalgam filling, and you can see in the previous photo that this tooth is a little bit darker. She didn't want it to look that way, so this tooth was crowned. And here you can see another crown and the bridge on the implants, and this was the final bridge. You can see the gingiva and everything looks great. In this case, first of all, we didn't take off the multi-units and replace them and had a lot of traumatic screwing in and out. We had a temporary bridge made each time. So each time she left the clinic, she had some sort of temporary solution. You might wonder if the temporary bridge can hold enough force, like normal daily routine pressure, even if it's not connected to the gingiva. It probably would hold, but depends on how long. These bridges were changed every 3 to 4 months. So with time, the temporary bridge changes its color a little bit and becomes weaker over time. You want to change them periodically. In this case, we have 3 temporary bridges. We each time between different bridges waited to have proper healing, to have proper gingival contour to know how the gingiva will react and to adjust the gingiva to the teeth. You can see the scalloping in the gingiva. It was made because the gingiva had some contact with the teeth. In this case, you don't have any other option but to do this type of procedure, which takes 2 years and multiple healing periods, because what are your alternatives? We couldn't extract all the teeth, place implants, and have immediate loading. Immediate loading when you place an implant in a tooth socket is problematic because the tooth is not held very strongly in the bone. The tooth is much larger than the implant itself, so it's a little bit problematic to have an immediate loading, especially in the frontal area. Immediate loading is especially problematic because most of the forces are horizontal, and this is what makes the implant move and to have worse osseointegration. So immediate loading probably wouldn't be the best idea. You can have cemented restoration in this case, but you will have to take out the bridge many times. Now, each time you take out a bridge on cemented restoration, it's a little bit traumatic because you need to hit the bridge to take it out. You have some chances of decementation, and the residues of the cement have some inflammatory effect on the soft tissues and the healing. So cement would work, but it won't be that great in this case because each time we take out the bridge, we need to hit it, take out the bridge, which is not the ideal solution. Screw retained restoration is the way to go if you want to heal the gingiva in the shortest amount of time and in the best way possible. The convenience of the process is a great advantage because screw retained restoration allows you to screw in and out super easily. You don't have any traumatic procedures and everything is just going to be so much easier. You don't need to take out anything by force, you don't need to cement anything or excessively clean it. You just take it out and put it back in. In screw retained restoration, you can be ready for every scenario because you take it out and you are sure you can put it back in. When you choose the multi-units in the program, it simplifies the process even more because you don't need to take out the multi-units and then put them back. When the gingiva heals, the gingiva somehow attaches to the multi-unit, and then taking out the multi-unit can still be a little bit of a traumatic process. It goes easily, but it's not comfortable for the patient. So when you can take out or change the multi-units less, it's ideal. To summarize, first of all, we definitely took our time. We did everything and gave the time for healing. Then we minimized the procedure that we can do in the clinic. We took impressions at the multi-unit level. We changed the multi-units in the laboratory. We had everything planned from the beginning till the end. So we knew how many bridges we needed to do. We knew what type of multi-units we needed to use. We had all of the information that we needed, and this is how we got such great results. The key point is planning and performing by the plan that you initially made. Thank you everyone who joined to learn some new and interesting information. Make sure to stay tuned for more, and of course, don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow. Thank you, and see you next time.